Welcome back, baseball fans. Another eliminating video, this time the Philadelphia Phillies. They finished 19-20. Last year they were 19-21, so they're flirting with 500 in an era where they're not expected to do much. No Mike Schmidt yet. He comes along a little bit later in the 70s. This is 69-72. They're still pieces away. They did add Greg Luzinski this year. They'll say goodbye to Kurt Flood and Dick Allen, I believe. Yeah, it's a very transition period here for the Phillies. You see Carlton, the 72 Carlton card, with 7-6, with a 368 and a .116 whip. Check out the 8 complete games, and also, interestingly, 124 innings pitched. And look at all the other starters. Johnson, Jackson, and Lersch, 56 innings apiece, which means Carlton pitched twice as much as those guys. So they really threaded the needle as far as scheduling his starts 3 days apart. So didn't quite work out. Just not enough talent quite yet on this Philadelphia team. Jerry Johnson did a fine year though. .77 ERA and a .09 whip. They had some problems in the bullpen with Joe Horner, who was their closer. And when your closer pitches as poorly as that, you're probably not going to do very well. Offensively, you were expecting a better batting average than .252. Darren Johnson, Luzinski, Allen, they did okay. The power is there in case of Johnson, 14-30. Dick Allen, 18-35. Luzinski had a nice average, but only 4 home runs. Tony Taylor was in the leadoff spot because there was nobody else to lead off for this team, hitting .265. Looking at guys with a 360 on base that I'd like to lead off, you're looking at either having Luzinski lead off or Dick Allen or Darren Johnson. And one of them in the middle of the lineup, so it didn't happen. And then when it came to those hit and run guys with speed, starting with McCarver, Flood, Boa, Doyle, none of them hit particularly well. McCarver had a nice card, but he hit 173. That's not going to do you very well. Johnny Callison, 202. It's just not going to do it. When you need to, Boa's a great defensive shortstop, and Carlton's a great pitcher. You need more than that, plus the homers. Too many holes in this team. Fun team, though. Fun team to use. So that's time to take a look at the Philly stack here and see which 69 guys go away. One of these 69 guys will be a prize in the offseason. All right. These are the 8 guys from 69 who need to disappear. Oh boy. Well, yeah. It's never good to see guys go away unless you bring them back. Let's see who is coming back for the Phillies. They're going to bring back a lot of pitching. They're going to go with a 7-5 split. The 7-5 split, which has been pretty popular, that gives you the balance so you can go in either direction in the draft. So McCarver comes back. Darren Johnson can come back at first base. Tony Taylor gets to come back along with Terry Harmon, Boa, and Doyle. So these 4 guys will be your middle infield, plus your catcher and a first baseman, and 1 outfielder. So you have 2 outfield spots opened up. And there's the Carlton card. 346 innings, and I had him pitch 124 in 39 games. Yeah, I overdid him a little bit, but you can understand why. Barry Lersch is a starter 8, but he can only pitch on 3 days rest. Excuse me. 3 days rest. Then Bill Wilson. This is a nice bullpen. Wilson, Selma, and Horner. Now the problem is Horner had a horrible year, but you look at his stats. His stats are really good. 9-5, 264. So if he comes back next year and flips it and does what he's supposed to do, then this bullpen will be set, because Bill Wilson's got a nice card. Selma's got a nice card. So you really could have Carlton throwing complete games when he pitches, and these guys coming out of the bullpen when the rest of the rotation pitches. So, that's a review. Now we'll take a look of the 69 cards and see who the Phillies decide to keep, waive, and retire. Alright, we're going to take a look at the Phillies cards that are going away. It's 5 hitters and 4 pitchers will go away. 5 and 3, I should say. And they might come back, so let's take a look. Oh boy, we're going to start with the biggest prize in the the off season. So the top ticket in this off season is 5'11", 187-pound dynamo Dick Allen from Wampum, Pennsylvania, folks. Okay, where we go? It spins around. It spins around. It's 69. He's a Philly. But now he's a Philly no more. And so, do the Cardinals make a deal? Do the Dodgers make a deal? Or do the Chi Sox make a deal? Where do I put Dick Allen? I'm thinking, where do you want to go, Dick? I'm thinking you want to go to the White Sox. That's what I'm thinking. But, of course, the Phillies, they're not idiots. He's a keeper. And I'm going to put trade in uppercase with an exclamation point. So they are going to get the moon, the stars, and a couple planets for Dick Allen in a trade. It won't be this Philly, St. Louis, Dodger, White Sox nonsense. He's just going to go to the Chi Sox, I think. Unless the Cardinals and Dodgers blow the White Sox out of the water. But we'll see. We'll see. Next up, Jimbo Beauchamp. I think he might be near the end of his career. He played for the Cardinals, Astros, Braves, Reds, Cardinals, Mets. They didn't make this 73 card, which would have been nice. And frankly, he qualifies for waivers in 70 only if they made his card. And it will be either for Houston or St. Louis. So let's take a look at Gary's superds.tripod.com Strat-O-Matic roster page and see if Beauchamp, if they made a 70 card for him with Houston or the Cardinals. So we're going to look at Houston for an outfielder. Not there. We're going to look at the Cardinals. He's not there. Let's look at their extra players. Liza game coach Geronimo Howard. And Beauchamp's an extra player for the Cardinals. So, good news in that they can put him on waivers instead of retiring him. Beauchamp on waivers. Next up, Johnny Callison. Nice little year for Johnny. Nice long career. He's got a nice cannon for an arm. White Sox, the long career of the Phillies, moved on to the Cubs and Yankees. So here we are at 69. And actually, with the Cubs in 70, he does pretty much the same thing. He is a keeper. But you could trade him, since he does get traded to the Cubs. Let's see who he gets traded for, or how he ends up on the Cubs, while we have this thing out. Going down to the transactions, how'd you end up on the Cubs in 1970? We're going to scroll down, and when we do that, oh wow. In the fall of 69, he was traded to the Cubs for Oscar Gamble and Dick Selma. Wow. Gamble would not really be the producer during this portion of his career. He's much better in the mid to late 70s, but Selma's a nice piece. So the Phillies got that trade. Dick Selma had some nice years in the bullpen for the Phillies. while Callison has maybe just one more good year left. So, the Phillies actually have both the guys. They have Dick Selma and they have Callison. Next up is Curt Flood. Did not report. I wonder if they wrote it here as that. Was traded, but he didn't report to his team. No 1970. Comes back in 71 with a cup of coffee for the Senators. And that cup of coffee is not good enough. We're going to retire Curt Flood. Thanks, Curt. So, one nice year with the Phillies. Next up, Russ Gibson. Russ Gibson played through to 72. You've got a Red Sox, another Red Sox catcher. My goodness, Red Sox have a million catchers. Bob Montgomery, Jerry Moses, Russ Gibson, Carlton Fisk. Holy smokes! All right, he moved to the Giants. Does he qualify for waivers in 1970? That's what we're looking to do. We'll look to the Giants and see if he's their catcher. He is. Let's put him on waivers. Russ Gibson. He gets to go on waivers instead of retirement. So, he can look for work. Next up, Grant Jackson. Nice long career for Grant. Starter, turned reliever. 65 to 82. We got a World Series ring for maybe the Orioles and the Pirates, I want to say. Maybe not. Well, yeah, he got traded in 71 and was just in the bullpen. They lost the World Series to Pittsburgh, so no, he didn't get a World Series ring with them. Ends up on the Pirates in 79, gets a World Series ring with them. How about that? So, we know he's going to be in the league. He's got a long career. Interestingly, was an All-Star in 69. Probably because Philly was so bad, he was their best player. He was 14 and 18 with this card we just used in the game we just played. That's the last time he'll go on the rotation. So it's a time to transition into the bullpen for the Phillies or the Orioles. 70's lousy. 71 is good, as is 72 and 73. Baltimore would like to have him, but Philadelphia's going to hang on to him. Does he fit into the Philly bullpen now? He could. Because we like Bill Wilson, Dick Selma, and Joe Horner, you could have two lefties and two righties and Steve Carlton. Boom. Now that is the thing to do. Let Fred Gladden go. Go Grant Jackson, Bill Wilson, Dick Selma, Joe Horner, and Steve Carlton, and 3 other starters. That would be pretty cool. All right, next up is Jerry Johnson. He would be getting long in tooth as well here. Well, no, not really. I'm sorry about that. He started in 68. He's still very young. Got him mixed up with somebody else. With the Giants. Phillies, then he ends up in the Giants. So this 69 card with a 4.20 ERA actually pitched very well. He was actually 5-1 in the league. He did much better than the stats here. So in 70, he split time with the Cardinals and Giants, and he was okay. But the big year is 71. Look at that. 6th in Cy Young voting, 18th in MVP voting for the Giants in 71. Jerry Johnson. Oh, yeah, that's a keeper. He doesn't go on the rotation. But with Carlton, you don't need a lot of guys to do that. 71. Jerry Johnson. He's actually going to be in the bullpen. 18 saves. So that's going to create a logjam in the bullpen, though. You see the dilemma here. A ton of relief pitching. You got Horner, Selma, Wilson, Jackson, and Johnson. 5 outstanding relievers, 2 of which are left-handed. So somebody's going to move. So I don't know who is going to be traded, but somebody's going to get traded to make this all happen. All right, the last guy on the list, Fred Gladden. I think he might have one more good here. plays through to 73. Did it with the Astros. Tigers and Astros. So 69. Look at that. 29 saves and 69 for the Stros. Led all of baseball. Wow. With this card. The 4.21 ERA card was the leading saves. And it's funny because we talked about in that Astro-Portland game how rough that bullpen was with Jim Ray closing games out. Oh boy, if they made this 72 card with a .02 ERA, that would be pretty killer, wouldn't it? The .02 whip in 48 innings for Houston. Let's see if the 72 original Houston Fred Gladding exists. Don't see him there. Maybe he's an extra pitcher. Yes, he is. His 72 card exists. Houston, the Phillies. If you want a relief pitcher, call the Phillies. They got them all. They got 6 high-quality relievers. Boy, this team's going to look a lot different next year. So they've got 5 keepers, 4 of which might be moving on. Or they could move on from Bill Wilson, Dick Selma, and Joe Horner and just keep these keepers. Wow, this team is going to be really different next year, and they have a chance to get a lot better if they make some smart trades, and they inch even closer to getting Mike Schmidt on the team. If you're wondering how close we are to Mike Schmidt, let's take a peek. So, 72 is the answer, but I don't want to bring him up at 72. Or 73, I don't think. Nah, I'm not going to do that. So it'll be 74. We're going to wait till 74. It's not, you don't want to bring him up with a 73 and you're stuck with a 196 hitter for a year. I mean, I could bring him up. You'd have 4 years with this, or 2 years with this card. You could bring him up next year and then replace the card, but it would cost you a draft pick to replace him with a 74 card from the following year. So you might as well just wait and not lose a draft pick. So the way the logic is, next year in the 70-73 season, you could add Mike Schmidt. However, in the year after that, you can replace his 73 card with his 74 card, but it'll cost you a draft pick. You might as well just let him stay in the minor leagues one more year and then bring him up for this 74 card, as it's pretty awesome. 6th in MVP votes. So that's it tonight. Wrapping up the Phillies season. Hope you're enjoying these elimination videos. We'll see you next time.